I'm not.
Okay, believable.
I'm not ready at all, actually. I actually want to
Oh.
jump out of a window. I actually want to jump out of a window to, like,
Take me with you.
not have to do this. Ah! Why did it do that?
We'll
I tried
join
to-
Bobby.
Oh,
We'll join Bobby.
You hate me.
My bad. Why am I hearing us twice? I'm confused.
I opened the stream to unmute it.
Oh.
To check the audio for everything. I'm too loud. Let me turn me down a little bit. Ness, can you talk?
Wah, 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 wah.
Ah, wah, 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 wah. I'm too quiet now.
Ah, bah, 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 bah,
Ah,
bah.
ba, 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 ba. Okay, we're spiking about the same. Knowing I will get louder, I'll turn myself down a little bit. But yeah, I normally have my stream volume turned up to like 10. Just so I could hear it the entire time I'm live, which is a little weird, I've been told.
I don't, because I get
I've had mic
I get confused.
I've had like technical issues with my mic before.
Oh,
Where
that's
it like
very smart
tweaks
though.
out like midway through a sentence, and I'm like, no, why?
I mean, it makes sense though. It's actually a very smart solution.
So that's what I did. I love this song, but I can't listen to it right now. I'm gonna pull this up over here. Is there a song you want to listen to?
No,
Oh shit!
I don't have
I have to turn my. It's gonna break. Oops.
break.
Spoot. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Smart.
I forgot. It'll pop up in the VOD. I don't want that.
Nope.
But yeah, no song recommendations?
Now, what kind of vibe were you when you do? Exactly that. What kind of vibe did you want to go for?
I don't know, but do you like this cat and this raccoon?
Wait, can I see what the first thing my eye picked up was songs I would kill myself to?
Oh yeah,
That's the first thing I
Hold on,
read.
where to go?
That's such a mood. I love it. I have therapy session. That's a playlist I have. Oh, that song is so good. Wait.
Which one?
I sleep when I'm dead.
Oh, Set It Off. I love Set It Off.
I love Set It Off.
Each and every night. What's your Spotify? Let me add you.
Wait, guess what?
XX Nessie.
What? Shocker.
Whoa.
How did you know that? How? I think I hit that pretty well. I've been meaning to change it. Oh my god. Speaking of, I really need to change my profile picture.
Okay, but you're so pretty.
The makeup I'm wearing, I did by hand, like the tattoos and everything.
Oh.
But the girl in the background ditched me. And is actually a bitch to me right now. Yeah. Another One Bites the Dust is my favorite.
Another One Bites the Dust. That's real.
For my funeral.
Old songs.
The old songs that's in there is mostly Dutch music.
Therapy session.
Yeah.
Hold On is such a good song though.
Sure. You want to hear something funny?
1-800.
The last song I listened to was Nightmare by Set It Off.
Really?
Yeah. It was the last thing I listened to.
Oh, Bullet. I'm playing Bullet next.
It's my favorite song ever. I love it.
Add to queue. There we go. Bullet is such a good song.
It is. Can I do this on my phone? Let me check. I think I got a cute picture.
What is my profile
I can
picture on
barely show
Spotify?
my
Oh my god. Wait,
eyes.
we have wait. Look at my profile picture. Hold up. Why did it open over here? Why did it open like this?
Just from library.
I didn't want that to happen. I just want to show my profile picture.
Yep.
Look at that. Oh.
Oh. It's also a Halloween one.
Yep.
I love that.
Can't fix this. I'm hopeless. My
What are you
staples
feeling?
open wide. Coda should be home soon. Oof.
I think I'm gonna make it this one because it's just a casual photo. Just
Are we ready? Because I'm not ready.
no, but I don't think we'll ever be ready, so we might as well just do it.
Yeah. I'm gonna turn Spotify down just a little bit. I lied. Okay. The fic we're reading is Away From Us by Marchline. I'm gonna read through the additional tags. I'm not gonna read the summary, even though we both have read it. We both read the summary already, and I know it, and we both seen TikToks about it, so. This is the worst song to be playing for reading through the additional tags. Presumed dead. Grief/mourning, hurt comfort, emotional hurt comfort, angst with a happy ending, which apparently is all we know how to read, Ness. Hurt Evan Buck Buckley. Post lawsuit. Evan Buck Buckley needs I'm never saying that again. Buck needs a hug. Athena Grant and Bobby Nash are Buck's parents. Second chances. Firehouse 118 crew as a family. I'll see you tomorrow.
What a perfect song for the fic.
Right? It's so perfect. Just like Fable. Right, guys?
Yeah.
There's 10 chapters.
10. All right.
There's 10 chapters.
Oh. I saw a word that scared me for a second. That's all right.
I hate this first sentence, actually.
What a timing with the song.
Oh, I don't want to.
Damn.
I'm turning the music down. And then I have to turn it up a little on stream because it's going to be really quiet. Yeah. There we go. Okay. Oh. Chapter 1. Not yet. I didn't even want to look at the screen. Chat?
Oh.
Chat? Coda's messaging me.
Oh. Almost here? Almost here?
He said, "Have a good stream, my darling Zay. I'll be home soon. I love you." In full caps.
I love Coda. I love Coda. I want to scroll every time, and I forget that I can't.
Real. Okay. Why am I still here? Why am I still here? The thought practically punched Buck in the gut. He was a man behind at the firehouse, alone, washing the truck now just so he could wash the ambulance when it came back. Restock supplies, check the engine, get everything cleaned up. And while he did those things yet again over and over because they were the only things he was allowed to do, everyone would ignore him. Hen might squeeze his shoulder when she walked past. Athena might come by and smile at him like nothing was different, and she still liked him. That was it. Why this song? Okay.
Damn. This is like a part that I just like. I wish could give Buck a hug. He needs a hug.
It's fine. We're fine. This is
Uh,
fine. Everything is okay. Buck had fought so hard to come back. Through all the surgeries and physical therapy for his leg, through the retraining certifications, through the embolism, and then yet more doctor appointments. Through the tsunami. He fought so hard, and it hadn't worked. Buck was back in the firehouse, but he wasn't home. Eddie wouldn't look at him, and Bobby did, but with disappointment. Jim glared sometimes and looked sorry for him other times, but none of those included many words. Teasing sometimes, except that teasing without any affection behind it just felt cutting. Maddie said she wouldn't take sides, but she went home to Chim and not Buck. Maybe she didn't talk about it with Chim, like she wouldn't talk about it with him, but he was the one who got her every day. And Buck got texts with an occasional lunch. Athena was the same way. Her texts were warm, and she told him to talk to her if he needed her, but he didn't want to put her in the middle, so he told her it was all okay. Okay. As if I wouldn't know because you're the one that opened the door. Coda's home. Where was I? Fuck.
um.
Because Eddie wouldn't talk to him. Buck couldn't talk to Christopher either. And Hen was hurt too. She just understood that Buck was hurt right along with them. So she wasn't cruel about it. She needed time, and she told him that. She loved him, but she needed time. So Buck was giving that to her because she deserved it. But he was drowning. The rest of the 118 was caught in the crossfire, and they either ignored him or they blamed him. Loudly. The first couple of weeks, Buck had been so sure that he could prove himself to them again. As a trusted member of the 118, as a co-worker they could rely on. As someone who loved them. How could he do that if no one would give him a chance? Every night, he used to go home and analyze the day where he could do better. How he could handle this more graciously. Heart going too fast because he was anxious with what tomorrow might be and confrontations he might have, or even the forgiveness he might finally earn. His stomach would burn, and his hands would shake, and the only thing he could do to calm that down was imagine tomorrow Bobby calling him over to help him cook, or Eddie looking at him, or Hen pulling him in for a hug. He'd trick his head until he felt those things. Not things going back to how they used to be instantly, all the tension and hurt gone, just some sign that they still loved him. That they were trying to forgive him. That'd be enough. Buck could give them time. He could keep proving himself. But he couldn't take this indifference. He couldn't take this contempt. If that made him exhausting, then fine. Buck was exhausting. Buck was exhausted. Ness, I'm not okay.
I stand by my point. That man needs a hug. A big one. This is so upsetting. Oh my.
I misclicked. Hi! Hi! We're reading. We're
Hi!
reading Buddy Fix. You want to also say hi to Ness? Did you hear the cutout coda?
I did. Oh, I love this setup.
I know I made a new one.
Hello?
Hey! Hi!
Loud!
Oh yeah, I
Hi,
have
my
Ness
mom.
like turned up all the way.
Hi. Hi, how are you?
That's
How
why I
are
was able to
you?
hear them from my headset. A very silent hello. Hello. My
Did you have a
camera's dead.
safe travel?
You were waving that way.
I did. I did.
I'm so glad. I'm so glad.
I completely do not get anything that's being said, but it's fine. The voices are enough. The words don't matter. We are shattering our hearts with 911 fanfics.
Yeah. Love.
We just started.
You just started?
Yeah.
I saw the
Mhm.
notification
Yeah, we just started.
20 minutes ago.
I meant we just started reading.
Yeah.
The alarm went off.
We've been.
Whoa. That's heartbreaking.
Yeah.
You know what was heartbreaking? This being the first fucking sentence of the fic. This is Buck's POV.
Oh.
The oh says a lot.
Every time I read it, I feel my heart break a little more.
Chips.
The song that was playing was Bullet when we started. Chips?
Chips.
Chips?
There's chips.
What kind of chips?
I don't know. A lot of chips.
I want chips.
There's salt and vinegar. There's
Can you tell that I've been living off the res since you've been gone?
wanting something crunchy.
No, I like
I
do
can
not
tell.
get the res joke.
I do.
I had 4. There's one on the bed too. I don't know where it went, but it's there. I haven't cleaned up. I was supposed to before stream, but then I got lazy.
Would have been so sad if it was dead.
It was almost dead. What kind of salad to go with dinner? I don't fucking know. I know I'm the one cooking dinner tonight, but I don't know. Salad.
My first thought, that salad that you had, you didn't like, but I liked. You don't like it. And then I thought of Caesar.
These are
Ooh.
so plain though.
What are you making?
I don't fucking remember. He came. We walked in. He knocked first because I told him what I said to Ashley and how annoyed I was about it.
Yeah.
And I told him in the kitchen. So we were standing there for like 5 minutes talking about it. And then when he came up, he almost just like pushed it open. But then I heard the little click of the door, and then I heard a knock, and I was like, "Oh, sick." He knocked.
First time.
Don't you have
Speaking of
school
going,
at 10?
it's pot.
It's pot.
It's pot.
Um,
Hi, pot.
I do
Yeah,
have school
Ness.
tomorrow,
That's
but
a
I have
joke.
school. Wait,
I don't know
I'm
pot, but hi,
skipping my
pot.
first. I'm skipping my first class
Regular
and then
ranch. Oh, that's so boring.
joining late.
It is.
That's an island.
School at 1:30, so I'll be good. And
I forget
also,
what to put in
who
Thousand
cares?
Island. No, I don't want Thousand Island anymore. It's bad for you saying this while lurking on. I'm indecisive. I'll just tell him to get ranch.
I don't
But
think they have the dill one.
It's that we
and you also
don't know what you're gonna make.
get what was that called? The weird barbecue. I know what letters I need. Dude,
Good
I've
night,
been
Pod. Good
freezing up
night.
until like 20 minutes ago.
I'm
20 minutes
freezing
ago, I
right
just
now.
started burning alive. I laid in such an awkward position while you were gone.
I saw you were laying like that way.
And then I was laying that way. And then this fucker hasn't been in here the entire time you were gone, because every time he came in here, he tried to lay on the bed, and then it was like empty, so he'd like leave. You guys want to see Enzo?
You should see Enzo.
Good night, Pot.
Yeah.
Come here, dog. Come here. Oh my god. You gotta move a little closer for me to be able to pick you up.
Come here.
Okay.
Come here. Wow.
Enzo. Give him to me, yeah. This is Enzo.
Hi, Enzo.
The back of his knee is digging into my thigh and it hurts. I swear to God, if you licked my
so
face,
precious.
I will cry. Ew! What? You moved him and his dick touched my hand.
Enzo.
Oh my God!
Oh my god. Oh New York God.
It's a dog. It's a dog.
Oh, he looks so scared.
Because I'm holding him up.
Enzo. Why are you staring at the camera? You're gonna murder someone. Hi.
He's staring into my soul.
He's missed you. Link stares back.
You're okay.
Why does the fucking chat not fade out?
Huh?
Oh, I probably shouldn't do it on that screen.
Good to be home. Dictate.
That's all right.
Huh? Jesus Christ!
He jumped.
Hi, Ness. What was I
Hi.
doing? Oh, I was fixing the chat.
Yeah.
Stream elements. That tickled. Why did you do that? He just like slid his hand across my back. Like with his fingers, not like his whole hand. So it was just like. Yes, and I was tempted to open the window, but you're cold.
I'm going to put food away.
Okay. Can you get me chips?
I can message you.
Okay.
I love you.
Is your hair wet?
Kinda.
Yeah, it looks like it. Bye, Enzo. You know where Psycho is? Have you seen him?
Yes, he's in the bathroom down.
Okay. I'm tempted to open the window. But it'll be cold as shit in here.
Yeah.
I'll do it anyway. I love you.
Back.
Okay. Why is my stream elements doing this to me?
I don't know.
Guess I'll save it. Overlays. Chat. Settings. Show messages not permanently. Fade after 60 seconds.
Are
There
they
we go.
fading? Yeah.
They faded, yeah.
They left.
Yeah. I want to watch it fade. That's a
Thought you weren't supposed to be live tonight. I know, I'm not.
Ness isn't
I am
live.
not live.
I'm live.
I'm a guest. I'm just here.
I'm just here.
I see how it is. Oh, question. Did we have the music thingy this week? Do you know? I don't remember, and I forgot to put it in my agenda. I don't know. What? Yeah. You understand.
I dropped it again. I moved
I
my
don't
hand
think
too
so.
fast
Alright.
and it flew.
You careful, don't break it. I broke it once by dropping it on the ground.
Anyways.
Barbecue, rippled, sour cream and onion.
Salt and tinker.
I can ask tomorrow. I can ask them.
I'm opening the window. Give me 2 seconds.
Alright, take your time. I'm gonna text someone. Because I forgot to put it in my agenda, and normally I do. But I forget. Are we ready to be heartbroken again?
It's great value.
It's great value. My nose just got harassed. You should try the green apple ice that your dad has. It's really good.
Green
Huh?
apple
Green apple
ice?
I don't like ice, but green apple? Beautiful. An
I love
amazing
green
flavor.
apples.
How am I gonna eat and read? I'll eat when you're reading.
Different kinds of reading.
Alright.
Green apple is great. Not everything though.
I like green apples in general. They're really
Preach.
good.
Oh yeah, I was checking to watch the chat fade.
Oh yeah.
I didn't even watch it fade.
Now we can watch it fade. Wait. Enjoy.
I'm so tired. I'm so tired. Sleep. If I don't put the food away, it won't get put away.
Preach.
George told Chris to George told Chris to put the food away.
Your glasses have marks on them.
Yeah. And if Chris put it away, it wouldn't put away.
At all.
Yeah. Because he was looking
I
for
said
noodles.
Grace while talking to Ashlyn.
Mhm.
And she was like, who? And then she sat there staring at me for like 3 solid minutes and was like, oh, Chris. And then proceeded to say Carissa. And I was just like, okay.
Good name them. Why don't you? You do it to everyone else.
Mm-hmm.
Nah.
I'm gonna stop responding to my dead name. See what happens.
Oh, please do. You
It would
cannot
be
hear me,
funny.
but please do.
They said, please do.
Thank you for telling.
Mm-hmm. Anytime.
I'm gonna stop responding to A and my
They'll just start calling you teenager again.
then I'll stop responding to that.
Just stop responding until they get it right.
Exactly. I heard that.
Great. Good. Good.
It is good.
Yeah. I'll fight for you. Don't worry.
Sorry, I was trying to read the the song on Spotify. Oh. Just slowly leans into screen.
Maybe, just maybe, I don't know. You should also get glasses.
A gift for
Thank
you,
you.
Ness.
I'll honor it. Thank you.
Yeah, it was at the table where your dad was sitting, and I grabbed I grabbed the end of it, and I pulled, and he was so like shocked that I got the cube as well. I was like, "Yep, I'm not ready."
I'm also not ready.
Okay.
This is the second time your
Hi.
charger's being stolen.
I know. Are you? Oh, can I have a hug? You want to say hi? I love you. Say hi.
Hello.
Yeah. Look. Camera.
Hi.
Go ahead.
That's so cute. Oh my god.
She asked for a chip. Okay. Go and get Scram beat it. Go and get Scram beat it. I love you. Te amo. Te amo mucho. Turn a little harder. Just like that. There you go. Te amo. Te amo mucho.
Adorable.
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 All over so much.
So cute. I
Okay.
don't know if I can.
Can what?
Do this fake. Oh
I don't
my
know if I
god.
can either. We're not even halfway through the
We
first
barely.
chapter. We should read chapter by chapter, actually. It would be smarter.
Chapter by chapter?
That way we know, like, on the sidebar here, how far we are into the chapter.
Ooh.
Where do you think you're going, Blood Thinner Boy? Jim laughed at him? Okay, we're continuing.
Damn. Ooh, did you hear that?
Yeah, dude. Yeah. What is going on? Do not say a word.
What happened?
Don't answer. Don't answer. Don't answer. Don't answer. Don't answer. Don't answer. Speak.
Ha, ba, 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 ba.
I don't know why it tweaked out like that. Do you see why I have it unmuted?
Yeah. I see and I understand. You read absolutely nothing so far. We did. You were just not here.
What, 3 paragraphs?
Shh. We still read. It's just knowing that we're gonna cry.
We've seen the TikToks about this fic. They're out right now, baby. They'll be home soon. I love you. I know.
I thought you were talking to me for a second. I was like, what? Thank you. Thank you. I know.
Okay.
Do you want me to do it?
If you want, I just don't think I can read Chim laughing at him and the rest of the scene.
All right. Okay. The alarm. You have to scroll, by the way, for me.
I know.
Okay. Okay. The alarm went off. Ooh. That was me. Wait, my headset tweaked out. It tweaks out again. Where is the thing? See, life is just warning us.
Life is saying, watch out.
What's that? I hear it and it's scaring me. It sounds like my headset's going to explode.
Every time we've been
Can you
about to
talk?
start, someone's going through an issue.
Why is my headset doing this? Let me pull it out here and
I didn't know Pot wasn't following me.
I'm gonna unplug.
Okay.
Why are you freaking out? Okay, can you talk?
Meow. Hello?
I think I'm good. I wouldn't like to see you explode today. I'm trying not to explode. I'm
This fic is
scared.
gonna
It was
either be
so
my
weird.
13th reason or the reason I explode.
I vote both.
And then we have another fic to read after it, so we came prepared.
Yeah, we came prepared. Because if this one was not gonna make us cry, it's gonna be the other one. All right. The alarm went off. Everyone started moving, Buck included. Maybe this time he could help. Maybe this was the chance to prove himself. Where do you think you're going, blood thinner boy? Jim knocked into his arm as he rushed past Buck. To help, Buck said, picking up the pace. Jim just laughed at him. Any chance Buck had to be useful got crushed when he heard Bobby's voice coming from behind him. Man behind Buckley. Not Buck, not even Evan. One of the other guys leaned in as he went by, earning that salary as usually. Buckley. Buck just stopped, heard welling. Bobby didn't look at him as he went past him, joining everyone else to suit up and get out. It was all a mad rush, and then they were just gone. And he was standing still, alone, again. Buck made a joke in the locker room, and Eddie wouldn't even glance at him. No acknowledgement at all. You would think his childhood would have trained him to deal with being invisible better.
I'm not okay.
That man needs a hug. I just want to give him a hug.
Did you end up reading that fic with 3 chapters that I sent you?
I did, I think, chapter 1, and then I had so much trouble while traveling because everything did not go my way. And then I got distracted by the tsunami one.
Ah! I love that one.
It was really good. I loved it. All right. You okay?
Buck felt like such a creep. But he hadn't seen Eddie laugh in so long. Chimney and Eddie were cracking up over something on Chim's phone, and Buck knew if he got too close, Eddie's smile would go away. So he didn't. In the beginning, he had tried that kind of thing, walking into conversations, hoping good moods would ease him in, and it failed. Every time. He was being creepy, but Buck couldn't help it. For nearly a year, he'd been shoving the way Eddie's smile made Buck's heart go faster, deep down to hide and hope nobody ever found out. Eddie wouldn't be into him that way, and Buck wasn't going to lose his best friend because he had caught unwelcomed feelings. Sometimes Buck did great with that. He didn't think about Eddie's smile or his lips or how he'd feel lying in bed next to Buck. He was Eddie's friend and nothing more, and he was happy with that. Then there were times like these where Eddie was just handsome and happy, and it all just bubbled up until Buck felt like he was going to burst out. It was going to burst out of him. It couldn't. Eddie didn't even want to be his friend anymore, let alone his boyfriend. Everything would get so much worse if Eddie ever found out how Buck felt about him. Knowing that, getting hit with that reminder, had Buck turning away. You need Chris and I to bring anything tomorrow? Just hearing Christopher's name made Buck's ears perk up. He was yet again doing chores while everyone else was finishing up eating in the loft. He'd gotten a bowl and had seen a few glares at the table, so he'd just come back down here to eat. It all felt like a brick in his stomach, but it was Bobby's cooking, the only piece he had left of having the man in his life that was nearly the same as before. No, Athena and I have everything. Don't worry, just bring yourselves, Bobby said warmly. To someone else. To Eddie. Eddie who deserved it because he was good. Buck shouldn't be jealous. You doing ribs? Chim asked excitedly. Would it be a barbecue without them? Bobby asked with a laugh. They were having a family barbecue. Without him. Nobody had invited him. They hadn't even mentioned it while he was in the room. Buck felt his heart break. Yet again. He wanted to go so bad it ached. To be with them, laughing, just enjoying being together. Like his party before, that fucking embolism. That felt like so long ago. Now they were having another one, just without him. If he had an embolism now, they'd probably roll their eyes before they got to work on trying to keep him alive. Ness is pretty, you're right.
Both of you, I swear.
I do so many reading streams. I have another one scheduled. Actually, not this week on Wednesday. Next week on Wednesday. Which we continue. We actually continue this time from chapter 5 of Hunger Games because last time we just fucked around. So.
Love that.
Who dare message thee on Discord? Oh, I've been pinged in a server.
Oh.
Okay.
You good?
Yeah, I was just eating a chip.
It's fine. I'll read. I'll do it. The shaky feeling in his chest had him doing something so stupid. He felt like a dumbass. He knew it wouldn't work. Why was he putting himself out here like this? Why was he making a fool of himself? It was like he just couldn't stop giving them ways to hurt him. He pulled up his bank's phone number so his screen would be lit up like a call. The woman on the phone told him all the available extensions he could dial for. And Bobby was still in the locker room, getting ready to head home. Hey man, looking forward to seeing you tomorrow.
The secondhand embarrassment!
Oh my god, you scared.
I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry.
It's okay.
My secondhand embarrassment of Buck is kicking in. He called a
Aw.
bank. He called a bank.
Out of everyone, he called a bank. Yeah.
Just fucking call what's his fuck at this point.
Did
Or
they know
Maddie.
each other?
I don't think they
Matt,
did.
yeah, that they didn't know
I
each other.
thought about it.
I'm
I
like,
thought about my sentence. Or what's her name again?
from like the, I think I have a completely different person in my head.
Trying to
I thought
remember
of
her name.
Abby.
I thought of Abby
Was it
too,
Abby?
but like
I
he
was like,
can't call Abby because like isn't she like
no,
on some adventure getting like married or some shit?
yeah.
The fucking news lady.
Oh yeah, yeah. That was way smarter.
Mm-hmm.
Or Maddie. I probably would have just called Maddie. Because
I would have too. I would have just been like, hey Maddie. Let's
it
see
would
each
be
other
like,
tomorrow.
yeah, it would be more believable. Oh, but he cannot call Maddie because of Chimney.
Mm-hmm.
We don't even know, but like, wouldn't it be sad that Maddie was going and
Maddie
Buck
probably
wasn't?
is. Be so for real.
Right? Damn. We need to not make up stuff. It's only gonna make it worse.
Where were you?
Oh. Hey man, looking forward to seeing you tomorrow, Buck said excitedly to the automated voice of nobody. His voice was shaking, but he brought it up an octave like he was excited, like nothing was wrong. Then he pretended to get bummed out. Real damned easy. Oh, no, that's cool. I get it. Help your mom out. We'll hang out some other time. No plans. I don't have anything to do tomorrow. Isn't it so pathetic? Bobby, invite me. Please, please. Even if you think I'm pathetic, just invite me. Bobby didn't glance his way. Buck walked a little closer to the door of the. Okay, yeah, I'll wait.
Oh, sorry.
Thank you.
My bad.
Buck walked a little closer. Oh,
Sorry.
uh-huh.
Sorry.
Yeah?
Sorry. Keep going.
Okay. Buck walked a little closer to the door to the locker room. No worries, man. Thanks for giving me a heads up. Please, Bobby. Okay. Bye. Buck said to no one. He hung up the call. He looked at his phone like he was sad because he was. He didn't look up at Bobby. And Bobby just walked past him out of the locker room towards his car. Not even a good night. And no invitation to come to the barbecue tomorrow.
Is this when it's gonna happen? Sorry. Don't call it gay. They are gay, actually.
Yeah.
But he's gay for
Cool
Eddie. There's
move.
a difference. Sorry.
And it's canon, so it's fine. Cool move back there, Buck said to Eddie after a rescue on a rooftop. Dare I call you? Dare I call it a parkour? Eddie walked past Buck without a word. He did let their arms crash because he wouldn't step to the side to avoid Buck. He just walked through him like he was invisible. First time they touched in a real long time. Damn. The walking through him like he's invisible is crazy.
I could never see Eddie doing it.
He loves Buck way too much. Alright. The sitting in bars for hours just for human interaction and a distraction thing needed to stop. Buck knew that. He'd been thinking it for a while now. His love was just so lonely, though, and he didn't do alone well. He knew that about himself. He thought he could go out and have drinks and make new friends. That's how other people did life, right? Someday he was going to figure out how to manage to do that a regular person's amount. Buck
Sorry,
always
pause
went
for a
too
second.
hard. All right,
Queen just brought me a bitten strawberry, and I'm low-key tempted to eat it.
do it.
Like, I didn't know we had strawberries.
Love strawberries.
Strawberries are absolutely amazing. I might
They're
go and
so
get a
good.
bowl. Ah, Coda too. I can do that now.
I'll finish the thing. All
Mhm.
right. All right. Buck always went too hard. He wanted too much. He got too drunk because he wanted to match the vibe. He spent too much money on other people's rounds to make them want to drink with him. He got too flirty if anyone seemed like they wanted him. In this last month, he'd blown through more money on alcohol than he had in years. He got a take home for one night stands that brought him back to the persons he had really been working on moving past. He got into a bar fight, got thrown out of a club. He found himself taking back for a house party that was really more of a drug bender at someone else's house. This wasn't who he wanted to be. But if he stayed here
Strawberries!
trying
Sorry, I didn't
with
even message him.
It's the last of it.
I didn't even message him. I had his messages open.
Who, me?
Yeah, I was about to message you asking to bring me strawberries.
Same,
ooh ooh ooh,
same wavelength.
stream's frozen.
Is it?
Yeah,
Buck?
I'm looking at it right now.
Who's what?
JT.
It came from Russia's cat, I don't remember.
Hmm. He is the singer of Mouse Band.
Oh, that's cool. Scared me when
Are you back? There we go.
We are so back, and I'm not ready for this. What other fruits do we have?
no other.
That's heartbreaking.
It is. There.
I love you. Oh, that was sour.
All right.
Buck 1.0 is showing.
I love Buck One. We also brought.
Hi, Chris.
Yeah. Oh, sweet.
Yeah, she's allowed sweet stuff.
I just brought it today.
Within 30 minutes. It's clear I do not have the emotional attachment needed to get this. Yeah, you don't. We watched 8 fucking seasons of this show.
Mm-hmm.
So,
We watched the last episode together.
and now we have to wait 2 weeks for the next episode.
Oh, 1 week. Oh, I
Coda just
forgot.
said the
It's
funeral.
Sunday for you.
It is Sunday.
Yeah.
What?
Isn't that Monday?
It is Monday.
It is Monday.
We're losing track of days, Ness. We've been in call for 3.
Oops.
How are we gonna
33rd.
make it through 2 weeks without a 911 episode?
I don't know. Understand. Sorry.
We rewatched it. That's how. We binge it in 2 weeks.
Honestly, I might.
Or we binge The Rookie.
We should that.
Is he still here? Yeah. I didn't know that. They were watching
should
911
watch.
down there, and they were on the episode with like, okay, but The Rookie's goated for real. I need to catch up. I'm in season 7.
So am I.
So is Ness. Okay. What kind of cupcakes were they? In the bag? I was asking what kind. I said what kind of cupcakes. There's pink and blue ones. Cupcakes don't go in the fridge. They're in my glass. This wasn't who he wanted to be. Yeah, you're back to being Buck 1.0. I have the munchies. And you're burning munchies. So I've had chips, 4 strawberries. Because Queen brought me one that she was eating. And now I'm about to have a cupcake. You want a cupcake? I do. Okay. Bless you, dog. Cupcake. I just stabbed a cupcake that I'm not grabbing. Whoopsies.
Sounds like a whole meal, honestly. 4 strawberries.
Take a shower. Okay, I love you. I don't know where to put this. Oh. Almost dropped all the cupcakes. I love you. Have a good shower.
I thought I heard pink and blue.
There is pink and blue cupcakes in the fridge downstairs, but I wanted a vanilla one.
Valid.
Like, who doesn't just want a vanilla cupcake sometimes?
True. Ooh, another banger.
I really liked the fic of him moving to the 136.
I haven't read that. I got off reading fics for so long because I just read people making books out of them out of their fics.
But it's that 3-chapter fic that I sent you.
Oh. I did I read almost 1 chapter. I might finish it tomorrow on my way to school.
Yeah, it's really good. We should continue before we keep getting distracted.
Ooh. Yeah, I was like, I had 2 more sentences left. But if he stayed here trying with the 118, then I was going to be who he fell back into. They didn't love him anymore. That was clear. He needed to make peace with it. They didn't want him anymore. That hurt worse.
Okay, dog. Chill. I know you want out. Hold on.
Where? Oh, here.
Did you hear him thumping his little foot on the ground?
Nope.
Oh, it
Your
was
mic
really
didn't pick it
loud.
up.
He was like a dog version of Thumper. They were packing it up after a call. Shut up. Shut up. Car accident. A dumb teenager in one car hitting a mom and her son in another car. Hitting a mom and her son in another car. Everyone was shaken, but okay. Best outcome possible, really. It was always a hit to his soul when things went really bad. The son was Christopher's age. It made Buck ache, knowing how long it had been since he'd seen the kid he loved so much. Sorry, so fucking much. So, Chris excited for school break? Buck asked, because April was coming up. Maybe, just maybe, if this went good, then Eddie might be okay. Buck asked to take Christopher out on one of his days off. The zoo, the aquarium, anywhere he wanted. That wasn't the pier, really. It was stupid. And masochistic. And just pathetic. But his heart started beating just a little harder, fear and hope both. Eddie didn't even glance at him. Obviously. That was fair. Yeah, Buck tried to laugh. Dumb question. Everyone loves vacation. Any plans? Any room for me? School's offering a science camp. Experiments and shit, Eddie said, which was really the first glimpse into Christopher's life he'd offered since the lawsuit. Chris is excited. And booked up. There was still the weekend, though, right? Maybe I could... Eddie slammed the door down. And Buck flinched. He couldn't help it. The glare was almost tired. Exhausted. Because Buck was exhausting. Don't make me talk to you anymore. I don't even want to bother to tell you no. That's what it said. Then Eddie turned without a word and walked off towards Hen and Bobby. And Buck's heart somehow managed to break again. Missed a spot, Buckley, Johnson said as he walked past with Cortez while Buck was scrubbing the truck. At least this time it was dirty after a recent fire. Usually Buck was scrubbing paint that was damn near pristine. He was so goddamned sick of Johnson and Cortez. They hadn't liked him before the whole lawsuit. Captain's pet. So having the rest of the firehouse not like him now meant they were pretty unchecked. I'll get it, Buck said tiredly, not even wanting to come up with something snappy to reply about some non-existent smudge. Do you see it? Cortez asked, laughing at him. Always laughing at him. Buck hated it. I'll find it, Buck shrugged, leaning down to dunk the sponge back into the soapy water. While his back was turned, the sound of spit being hawked. He heard the sound of spit being hawked. More laughing. When Buck stood up and turned around, he saw a gob of spit running down the side of the fire engine. Get to work, Buckley. Johnson grinned at him as the two of them started walking away.
Ooh. The bitch in me would have punched the guy.
For real! Kill myself, sorry. Good morning, Buck said, cautiously to Eddie, hoping this morning he might get a crack in the brick at the wall that was his best friend. Eddie didn't say anything back. It wasn't even 10 minutes into a 12-hour shift, and Buck already wanted to go home and crawl back under the covers.
I still cannot go over the fact that they did that bit on the fire engine.
Hello? Like, what's your fucking issue?
I'm throwing hands. How dare you?
He doesn't deserve that.
No. There was a party at a bar. Lots of people, all shouting and excited and laughing. They were all together, scattered around some tables in the back. Bad enough, Buck was here, drinking, again. When just a few days ago he'd said he was going to stop this, but having to be near a group of people who liked each other and wanted to be close just added to the shitty failure feeling that had him in the chokehold. He felt like a complete scum, since Eddie had been too annoyed with him to even turn him down on spending time with Chris verbally. Did he even hate him anymore? They were past that. Buck was on the road to total apathy. Buck lifted his bottle to take another swig as a cheers to his absolutely shit life, but halfway up, someone fell onto his back, and the beer went everywhere but his mouth. His lap was soaked. Perfect. Just great. Sorry, man, a guy said with both a laugh and a wince. I'll buy you another. Fuck, I'm way too buzzed if I'm knocking into people. Buck turned to find a tall guy with bright red hair flagging down a bartender while he reached for a bunch of napkins. Getting past a crumpled handful of napkins, another apology was maybe the nicest anyone had been to him, outside of his neighbor's morning greeting in days. No worries, Buck said, forgiving it easily as he took the napkins and started trying to soak up the beer in his clothes. Hey, can I get the last round
You're
of shots?
tweaking. You're tweaking. Do you hear it? Okay, try now.
Bye 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 bye.
Okay.
Um,
You
oh,
want to
here.
start again from
Alright.
here?
Buck turned to find a tall guy with bright red hair flagging down a bartender while he reached for a bunch of napkins. Getting past a crumpled handful of napkins with another apology was maybe the nicest thing anyone had been to him outside of his neighbor's morning greetings in days. No worries, Buck said, forgiving easily as he took the napkins and started trying to soak up the beer in his clothes. Hey, can I get one last round of shots for us? He adjusted his head towards the party in the back. And another beer. For him? The bartender nodded and started working. The red-headed guy turned to Buck and winced again. Really? Sorry, man. Buck shook his head. Not a problem. I'm Kyle, he introduced. Sorry for being loud. We'll clear soon. There. Okay. Buck and nah, don't worry. Don't worry about it. You're allowed to have a good time. He waved away the new apology, just like the first one. Just because he was miserable, sad sack, didn't mean that the whole world had to be. Kyle glanced back at his group, and Buck felt bad keeping him here chatting. Although he had to wait for his next round, so it was probably fine. He was just sitting here. Guy could leave if he wanted to. Anyone could. We need to pack it in soon anyway. Big day tomorrow. Yeah? Beck prompted. Some part because he should, and some part because someone wants to talk to me. Kyle looked back at him, grinned. Heading out to Arizona tomorrow to start work on camp. I've been working on getting funding for over the last year. Early morning. That was what he'd been expecting. This is LA. If the big party wasn't something basic, like a birthday or whatever, then it was usually my screenplay got option or something. Building a camp was different. That was for sure. So Buck was officially interested. A camp? For foster kids, Kyle told him. All passion in his voice. A place they can come and just let all bad shit go for a little while. I'll be donation run, so it won't cost anything for foster families. You have no idea how many rich assholes I've smooshed or how many grant applications I filled out to get here. Buck turned on his stool to face Kyle better. That's amazing. You're building it from scratch? I am. He gestured back at the group. We are, I should say, it'll take a lot of work because I don't have the budget just to hire some big crew, but it'll build with love. So that's gotta count for something. Oh.
Yeah. My bad.
I need a drink. um. Oh, wait.
Yeah, we're here.
All right. Can you go a little bit back up?
Mhm.
He felt he felt a smile on his face, and it almost felt strange, unfamiliar. I think it does. The bartender came back, then sliding Buck over his new beer. Shots will be ready in a minute. Thanks, Kyle said. He took a bottle and handed it to Buck. Here's hoping dumping your beer is my last major mess up for a while, Buck. Cheers to that. Buck tipped the bottle at him and took a sip. Congratulations on the camp. Sounds amazing. Kyle let out a big breath and leaned his head back. God, I hope we're heading to the site tomorrow. Just outside of Yuma, Arizona. Supplies are ordered, plans are already drawn up. I've got some guys willing to donate time for pouring the concrete foundations of the buildings. After that, it'll just be us building. Faster we get it done, faster we can start working on talking in kids who just need a shot, you know? Who need a place to be a kid and breathe. The words Kyle was saying kind of itched under Buck's skin. It was a purpose. Kyle had a great one. Something that could do a real difference. Help people. Help kids who had no one who gave a shit. What did Buck have? An empty loft? A spiraling life and people who were sick of him? No purpose? He put everything into getting home. Okay.
Sorry, I'm trying to figure out where you are. Oh. Oh.
I'm at the bottom. I cannot see the next. Oh. That's a little bit. Okay.
It's at the very top.
He put everything into getting a home, not realizing until after that home was gone, it had blown up with the entire. It had blown up with the fire truck. He'd bled it out when the coughed up blood at his own party. Bucket tried. He tried so hard. Staying? People wanting him to stay? People who wanted him around longer than it's an F a fuck?
More than a fuck.
What the hell had
Or
been
longer
thinking?
than a fuck. Sorry.
It looks like an L for me. Like I had to actually get close to see. Maybe this would be better. He could go help, do some real good, and then when it was done, he could go. Drift again. try new places again. No searching this time. The universe was screaming at him. Buck wasn't made for love. Or he was. He loved real damn hard. Too hard. He wasn't made to be loved back. He had to find a way to make peace with that. It wasn't going to happen in LA. He just keep begging and making them hate him worse. Small doses, that was key with him. People could only like him in small doses. Buck glanced over the tables of excited, happy people. For a little while, for a small dose, he could be excited with them. He could work with them to build something good, and then he could... Do you need any more help? Buck heard himself asking. The decision made. Even though 10 minutes ago, he hadn't known the decision even existed. Kyle looked at him kind of funny, which was understandable and familiar. It's in Arizona. I heard you, Buck said with a laugh. He looked away from the people to see Kyle looking at him seriously.
Let me scroll. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, a little too far.
That'd be a hell of a commute, man. And the pay is largely tied up in the room and board. I can't afford much more. Kyle seemed like he was trying to talk Buck out of whatever it was. Buck just shook his head. I need a change. Real bad. And it sounds pretty fucking amazing. I'd love to help. I don't need a lot of money. You have some kind of warrant out for your arrest? Guy asked skeptically. Oh my god.
Skep?
There goes
say
my
skep.
Dutch. Skeptically. I just throw it on. It's 1 a.m. That got a bigger laugh. Not even the cops would bother searching him out anytime soon. No, I'm a firefighter, if that helps. Cal raised his eyebrows. That's a whole career. The stroke was uncomfortable. It was before I was on a truck that got blown up. I got hurt. Fought to come back, and it's just not working. Then he realized he just made himself sound like he was too injured to be useful, so he rushed to add, not physically, I can do the work. I got recertified and everything, just like with the rest of it. My team. There was some pretty heavy scrutiny. Oh my god. I have to get close. Scrutiny happening. Like Carl was trying to read his soul. Buck tried to look as useful and not possibly a criminal as he could. Come sit with us, Kyle said finally. Let me tell you more about the project and introduce you to everyone. A job interview. A real unorthodox one. I was fine. That was fine. All Buck needed was a chance. I was fine.
And I wanted to help.
That's okay. You can help.
This felt,
anytime.
This felt like the kind of insane that Bobby would make Hen look at him, and that would make Bobby and Hen look at him like, oh, you're so dumb. But back before, when it was a loving thing, it felt like it should feel like he was blowing up his life. It didn't feel insane or like a life-ruining thing. Buck felt energized for the first time in a long time. That shaky feeling in his chest had gone away hours ago. The thought of not seeing them again hurt, but the thought of not having to see them slowly slide from hating him to just not giving a damn about him felt like a relief. Buck couldn't go back there. He couldn't watch it happen anymore. He'd rather have them in his head the way things were. Maybe someday it could be a fond thing instead of a knife in the gut thing. The sun was just starting to rise when Buck got home. He had gone back to Kyle's place to talk more and convince both of them that Buck was making the right choice. His next shift was supposed to be later today. Buck wasn't going to be there. This part was shitty, but Buck couldn't call Bobby and say the words. He couldn't even text him to call out sick, while his resignation letter made its way to the station. The answer would hurt him. Apathy would hurt him. Anger would hurt him. At this point, even some tiny bit of concern would hurt him. You know what hurts me? You know what hurts me? Knowing that he fought. He put a lawsuit out to get his job back.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And now he's leaving.
Yep.
He's leaving with some redheaded guy named Kyle, who is amazing, by the way.
He's a sweetheart.
He's a sweetheart. He's literally fucking making an entire camp for foster kids. Like, Buck was about to have no real bills beyond his cell phone, because his room and board would be covered by Kyle. That meant he could dip into his savings and pay for his rent for the next 3 months. 3 months was Kyle's suggestion. Doesn't have to be all or nothing, you know? Maybe take a pause. Give yourself a few months to see if this is the right path for you, and go back to LA after to see if there's still anything for you. Your head will be clearer by then, hopefully. We love Kyle, I think. I haven't seen the series. I don't think Kyle is in the series. I think Kyle is a character that they created.
Yep. I need this playlist. Isn't it mine?
I think this is going in between both of ours, actually. Yeah, we're back in mine. Do you want my playlist? We should make a playlist
Is it going
together.
back and forth? Oh, we should. Let's do that. That's fun. I'm in.
Oh, we should just add all of our like sad songs to one playlist.
It's gonna be therapy 2.0.
Axe and Ness's therapy session. That felt right. A good safeguard. Something he could use to defend himself with against the Bobby and hen in his head. First thing he'd done when he got home was pay up 3 months' rent in the online portal for his apartment building. After 3 months, he'd come back to LA, decide if he wanted to stay or go. He could sublet until his lease ran out, if the answer was go. Second thing he'd done was pack, mostly clothes, but a few other important things too, not his laptop. Once he walked out of his loft, he was turning his phone off. Total cut off. He didn't want to talk to anyone, and he knew nobody was going to want to hear from him. Third thing was, well, he was still working on the third thing. The letter to Maddie was easy. He'd written something like this so many times before, and he'd read the ones she sent him. They just did this sometimes. She'd get it. Dear Maddie, I know after the embolism when you said maybe I just needed to find my next thing, that this wasn't what you had in mind. Fire marshal, I think you said. Maybe even a dispatcher, like you. I like this better. I met a guy last night who's working in Arizona to build a camp for foster kids, and I decided to help him. I'm going to take a few months to figure myself out. I think we both know I really need it. I'm sending a letter to Bobby to resign, and I've paid up on my rent and car bill, so it'll all be here for me when I get back. Right now, I just need to try something different, you know? Hopefully in a few months, I'll know what the next step should be. I'm going to shut my phone off. Sorry if that means I missed something important, but I know you have Chimney and Josh, so you'll be okay. I'll be back in 3 months. I promise. We can talk then. I love you. Buck. The letter to Christopher was harder. Way harder. Hard or not, Chris deserved it. He was caught in the middle of adult shit and Buck's fuck-ups, and it wasn't fair to him. Buck cutting and running wasn't fair to him. Christopher was the only person that he wished he could keep his phone on for. Maybe Eddie wouldn't let him call, but the kid was crafty. There wasn't any special off for anyone but Christopher Diaz. Setting that Buck knew of was out though. That meant Buck needed to explain. Superman, I'm really sorry for these last couple of months, buddy. You're caught in the middle and you didn't do anything wrong. I just made bad choices. And it meant I couldn't talk to you for a while. I decided I need a little a little time to get my head on straight. And that means going away for a bit. I won't be able to talk to you while I'm gone, but I'm gonna be thinking about you all the time. My cell won't be on and my apartment will be empty, so please don't think I'm ignoring you if you try to reach out and I'm not there. I promise I'm not. I'm just not in LA right now. I'll be back in a few months. I promise. I'll reach out to your dad when I am. And if you want to talk, just let him know and I'll be there. If you're mad and you don't want to talk, I totally get it, Christopher. It's up to you. I love you. I hope you know that. I really love you, Chris. See you soon. Remember everything that happens to you so you could tell me all about it. Love, Buck. Was it cheating to tell Chris he'd be back so he could force Eddie into a meeting if he wanted one? Yeah, a little, maybe. But it was probably the only way he'd get to see the kid again. So he was okay being underhanded just for this. The last letter hit the worst. It wasn't just writing to Bobby, it wasn't just writing to the man he started to look at like... Buck let out a slow breath and shut his eyes for a second. He wasn't just writing to the man he started looking at like a father. It was also writing a letter giving up what he had wanted so badly. Even before the 118, Buck had thought that a firehouse would get him the sense of community and purpose he had been searching for. And it had. Then it hadn't. It almost felt like he was giving up on being Buck. He'd been so proud of being Buck. Nobody liked Evan. Only Maddie. But even Maddie had found it real easy to walk away from Evan. She had stayed here with Buck. People had loved Buck. They'd shown up at the hospital for him. They'd stood by his side for so long. They talked with him and laughed with him. And turns out Buck has been a failure too. Some part of him started thinking about introducing himself to the others on the project in Arizona as Evan again. Let Buck go for real. Let him be the failed experiment, a moment in time. That was for later, though. Right now, he had a letter to write. A resignation to write. Dear Captain Nash, effective today, I resign my position with the LA Fire Department. I apologize for the lack of notice, and I thank you for the opportunity. Sincerely, Evan Buckley. That's all it really needed to say. But Buck knew it needed to say more. He flipped the page over and wrote, Bobby. I'm sorry, I pushed too hard, and I wanted too much. I ask for too much all the time, big character flaw. I'm sorry I made things more difficult for you. And I'm sorry I disappointed you. Thank you for letting me feel like family for a little while. I think I really needed that. Imposing was never what I wanted, though. And I'm definitely doing that now, so I'm gonna try something new. I'll be gone for a few months. Going to help some people start something special in Arizona. If there's any follow-up paperwork I need to fill out, I can do it when I return to LA. Please stay safe and give Athena a goodbye hug for me, if she's okay with that. Thank you for everything. Buck. Ness, I'm not okay.
I'm not okay.
He put the pen down and breathed for a few seconds. If he had to agonize over these, he'd never finish them. All at once was the only way it was going to happen. It had all just flowed out, and it was a shitty letter. They all were, really, but it was the best Buck was going to be able to offer anytime soon. Maybe if Bobby wanted, they could have a conversation when Buck got back to LA, clear the air a little. He didn't want to offer that in the letter, though. He figured that would prove he hadn't learned his lesson. And there was nothing that annoyed Bobby more than people not learning after they made mistakes. Well, nothing excluding Buck himself. He annoyed Bobby plenty. Not anymore, though. But 119 was strong. Thinking about the I love you, kid line while thinking about this is the most heartbreaking thing. Because think about how he's talking about Bobby and then think about that line.
Yep. I think we should name it our Spotify playlist. I love you, kid. Exactly. That's what's going to be in the playlist. Sums it up.
They'd been strong before him, and with Eddie, now they'd be strong after him. They would have moved on. They would move on. They kind of already had. It was time for Buck to move on too. He left his car keys on the counter because he was getting picked up. If he took his Jeep, then he'd be tempted to rush back to LA at some point before the 3 months was up. He was sure of that. To be strong, he had to remove temptation. So he would leave his car here and pick it up when he came back. Everything was locked up safe, and Buck had his duffel bag and letters in hand. Last stop before he went to meet Kyle's van was swinging by the apartment complex office. Thankfully, there was no one here. Too early. The mailbox was right outside. Buck pulled down the metal door as quiet as he could and dumped the letters in, shutting it, knowing that there was no going back now. He walked out into the morning air and let out a slow breath. Sun was rising on a new day. Buck pulled his phone out of his pocket and shut it off. Keeping it off would be easy. The thought of turning it on to find nothing but maybe a text from Maddie was enough to keep the temptation from getting the better of him. A black van pulled into the lot and drove up to pull alongside the curb. Kyle's red hair was visible even at a distance. And when he got close enough to see the rest of him, Buck saw he was grinning like crazy. He wanted to feel that happy again. He wanted to feel like he was going somewhere and doing something. That he was on the right track. Hopefully that would be him too soon. Buck got into the passenger seat and saw there were 2 other people sitting in the back. Ready, man? Kyle asked excitedly. Ready, Buck said, buckling in. He dumped his duffel at his feet, because it was clear they already had a lot of stuff in the van. This is Carrie and that's Todd. Kyle pointed them out. Guys, this is... Buck cut him off. Evan. And glanced at Kyle's confused face. Evan Buckley. Confusion cleared then. They said hi to him, and Kyle started pulling away from the curb. Ready to get out of here, Evan? Hell yeah. I'm not okay, but I'm so proud of him.
I'm proud of him, but he goes back to his full name.
Evan? Ugh.
I don't know if I can do that.
Bobby's point of view?
Oh my god. Still nothing? Bobby asked Hen when he came out of his office. His eyes looked over the room and then went back to her when he didn't see who he was looking for. Eddie knew because he had been doing it too. She only shook her head, visibly worried but not willing to say it. Nobody was willing to say it. Buck hadn't shown up for a shift. That was rare. Rare wasn't a strong word, and strong enough word. It never happened. Buck showed up, rain or shine, sick or well, hurt or not. He wanted to show up on blood thinners that had started this whole thing. Buck didn't give a damn about his own well-being when it went up against being here in the firehouse. So where was he? The urge to text him hit Eddie
So
hard.
now you want to text him, sorry.
Maybe? He opened their conversation and it was starting to see how long it had been since they hadn't texted each other. The buck-shaped hole in his world was everywhere. Not Eddie's fault, though. Buck had made his decisions. You didn't have to be rude.
You didn't have to be an asshole. You didn't have to shut him out. You didn't have to, like, neglect the fact that he was your friend. Sorry. I can talk about this
Thank you for
1,000
filling in.
times.
I needed that. I needed that fill in. Thank you. There was still something awful squirming in his gut. The same thing that made him feel nauseous when he turned around at home and Buck wasn't there. And Eddie knew in his heart that Buck would be if only Eddie would ask. If only he'd let him. The same thing that made his chest ache when Buck looked at him hopefully and Eddie couldn't look back yet. Still too hurt. Too stubborn. He knew he was part of it. He was licking his wounds and being stubborn about letting them heal. Buck had done something so stupid and impulsive and even selfish. Maybe Eddie was being stubborn, but Buck's betrayal wasn't something he'd been able to shrug off. The awful feeling had Eddie typing a quick message and hitting send before he could think it through. Message from Eddie. Where are you? Even as just a coworker, he had the right to ask. No answer came right away. Eddie tried not to check constantly, but he still averaged about 12 checks over the next 15 minutes. Then an alarm went off, and he stopped having the option to check, which was the only thing that was going to keep him checking another dozen times. Everyone suited up, and Eddie could see the way attention was pulled just a tiny bit off. 5-alarm fire at an apartment complex.
This is when they assume that he's...
Bobby relayed to the rest of them as the truck went flying out of the station. We're going to be joining the 138 who responded to the scene first. More on their way. They all looked at each other grimmingly. Big fires like this almost always meant bad injuries and a loss of life.
That means the letters didn't go!
Though Bobby was in front of them, they saw him freeze as he fiddled with his headset. Dispatch, repeat the address? His voice was urgent, shocked. Eddie traded glances with Jim. For a few seconds, there was nothing but a blaring alarm. They all waited. Then Bobby turned to look at them, his face suddenly pale. It's Buck's apartment building. Eddie felt those words slam into his chest. How? You're sure? Eddie heard himself ask. Even Bobby was obviously sure. He knew Buck's address. They all had been to his loft. Nobody could get that wrong. Bobby didn't say anything. The fear in his eyes said enough. He turned around and nobody said anything else. They just sat there, silently and tense. When they got close enough to see Buck's apartment building, there was a black smoke billowing out. The fire was raging, flames totally engulfing the whole thing, especially the far side, the side Buck's apartment was on. Eddie felt his entire body start to go cold. There was no time to stop, no time to freak himself out. Buck will be fine. He was probably getting people out right this second. No gear, didn't matter. Buck was going to do what he did best. Save lives recklessly. They'd find him out with the first responders, maybe even wearing some mix of whatever he'd gone to sleep in the night before and someone's borrowed turnout. They flew into the...
You're tweaking.
They flew...
Hold on.
Mhm.
Why does it keep doing this?
I don't know.
It's normally fine. Was it
There
there?
was
I think it
no...
was. Yeah.
Oh, okay. It was?
There was no time to stop.
No, we were
No,
further.
a little further,
It's
yeah.
fine. Yeah.
They flew into action.
Yeah, okay. They flew into action. The second truck stopped. The captain of the 138 came over and gestured to the building. First floor, brain. Okay.
Evacuated.
My brain left me alone. Evacuated. We're still working on the upper floors. It's out of control in there. Shh. Oh my god, my brain. Okay, my eyes also. Let me wait. I'm gonna get my glasses. Mm-hmm. Breaking everything. My bad. Been staring at a screen for too long.
Real.
My bad. Worst thing is, it actually made it better. Did you scroll up?
Hmm?
No. Structural. Oh, damage is already taking the roof down in places. It was bad. You see Buckley? Bobby asked the other captain. Eddie wasn't sure if he'd ever met him before. Hard to tell with his gear on, covering part of his face. But the guy definitely knew Buck. There was confusion on his face. He looked between them. He's not with you? This is his place, Bobby said, shouting to be heard over the flames and the chaos. He didn't come in this morning. Pity. Eddie saw it on the captain's face, plain as day. No, not yet, he said. Doesn't matter. Eddie tried to tell himself. There's so many people here. Buck won't make a big deal. He'll just get to work. He's fine. So Eddie got to work too.
Now you're worried. Me.
I'll go in, Eddie shouted to Bobby as another team prepared to go try evacuate more people. Bobby nodded, eyes on a fire raging in front of them. Seeing things Eddie wouldn't ever want to see. He went in. It was surreal seeing the lobby totally covered in ash. They found a mother and her son hurt on the third floor. Eddie had to get him out. He hadn't made it to Buck's floor. No call came in over the radio saying they found Buck outside. Eddie went back in. The second floor on the west side was partially collapsed. Every second was a chance for someone to get on the line and say they'd found Buck. Bobby would tell him, Hen would tell him. His attempt to make it to Buck's floor was stopped by an old man on the fourth floor who was hurt badly. Eddie threw him over his shoulder and tried not to hesitate in the staircase. Hurry, get him out and go back in. Jim went in with him the third time instead of them splitting up to cover more ground. They were giving a time limit. The building was unstable. They couldn't keep going in. The door to the sixth floor, Buck's floor, was partially barricaded by debris. Eddie used an axe to get rid of it. This way, Jim shouted at him like Eddie didn't know. They both rushed down the hall, banging on doors as they went. Most of them were open, people having long since gotten out. Buck got them out. He's outside right now. If he knew Eddie and Jim were in here looking for him, he would be freaking out. They turned the last corner. They needed to get to Buck's loft, and the floor was gone. It was gone. Firefighters, evacuate. The building is collapsing. Eddie started incomprehensibly to the gaping drop that should have been Buck's hall. His heart was pounding. Not because he worked so hard to get here, because he was terrified. Yes, Han, come in. Bobby calling them back. Is there another way? Jim shouted at Eddie. There wasn't.
I'm not okay.
Buck! Buck! Eddie screamed, as loud as he could, to be heard over the flames. His hands scrambled over the walls, testing them, trying to see if he could use a ledge or a doorknob or something to get Buck's door. There was no answer, but Eddie screamed again. Buck, are you there? The floor started to crumble under his feet. Jim grabbed him, pulling him back. Yes, Han, evacuate, now! Come on.
Is it Han or Han?
Han, I think. My brain is like, it's late, alright? It's so late. And no. They thinking he probably is dead is insane.
Eddie gaslighting himself that he's outside is so real.
That would be me in this situation. He's fine. He's fine. He is fine. They don't know he's fine. Even though the fire was raging, even though breathing was getting hard, even though Bobby was shouting, Eddie and Chimney stared at each other for a few seconds that felt like an eternity. They couldn't get to Buck's apartment. He might be in there, hurt, and they couldn't get to him. We can try from the outside with a ladder, Chimney said, a tremor in his voice that hadn't been there before. It was a lie. Nobody would let him. Bobby might. It hurt. It felt like tearing his heart in two. But Eddie turned away from Buck's door. If they were going to try, it needed to be now. They couldn't waste time on a dead end. Jim finally answered Bobby. We can't get to Buck's apartment. Floors collapsed. We're coming back. Get the ladder ready. Get out. Now. Bobby said, yeah, you can. Alright. Eddie couldn't read his voice. If they had found Buck outside, then Bobby would have said so. He would know that was all he needed to say to get him out of the building. Someone should have seen Buck by now. He should have, would have, reported to Bobby by now. It was nearly impossible getting back out. The building was falling to pieces fast. The fire was burning too hard, too hot, too fast. When Eddie got out, he immediately started rushing to the truck. Bobby was there, and he caught Eddie's arm. Do you have one set up at his corner? Eddie asked. Eyes already scanning, already moving. Bobby didn't let go of his arm. Eddie. No. Eddie tried to pull his arm out of Bobby's hold. We don't have time to waste, Bobby. I can get in there with the ladder. Help me. Bobby wouldn't let him go. Eddie, you can't. When Eddie tried to pull his arm free again, Bobby wouldn't let him. He grabbed Eddie's other arm and pulled to make him actually look. The truth was right there in Bobby's eyes. No, I can do it, Eddie shouted, trying to get free again. Eddie, Hen said. There, all of a sudden, or maybe he just hadn't seen her. He only had eyes for the ladder truck, and the sixth floor of a building that was totally engulfed in flames. No. I have to get to him. I have to.
Yeah, I'm
Eddie
not one
pulled
right now, okay?
himself free and he got all of 2 steps forward towards the door. He'd find a new way in. He could find another. Before Bobby caught him around the chest and pulled him back. Eddie, stop. You can't go back in. Bobby insisted, not even caring that he might be condemning Buck to burning to death. He cares. You know he does.
Sorry. I didn't mean to laugh. Rainbow kitten surprise. All right, I'm crying at this point. By the way, don't know how much you care. Just FYI, 'cause I think the music thing is at the top of the stream is stuck. Is it? Oh, it is. It's stuck on triggered for some reason.
Oh, by Sky X Daddy.
Mm-hmm.
Love that song. Good. Now I have to search.
I need the bathroom really quick.
All right,
We're back.
I'll wait. I don't know if you heard that, but it's fine. Because I cannot scroll. I can read further, but it would be he screamed, and that would be it. Boop, boop. I got a notification that I could end the stream because I have the bits. Yeah. No, the points. End stream right now. Oh, wait, she says, even though she doesn't have a choice. True. Very true. If it gets too sad, I'll just end the stream. Because I have the power. No, no, no. So sad, though. No. They think he's dead. Meanwhile, Buck's in Arizona. Vibing. Did I accidentally send a message of me joining this stream? Is that how you found it? Honestly, kind of getting invested into this now. You have to watch the show. It's so good. I have to post the reaction of me and Axe watching the last episode. Oh, that's why. I was going to send a notification to my chat, but I pressed the wrong button. Cool. Can I still do that? No. I can pop out chat. Pop out. Oh, I like that way better actually. Wait. That's readable. Yeah, posted. I have to. I have it. I filmed it. I recorded it. That's what I was going for. I recorded it. And we both did. I just have to spit through it and get clips and all of that nonsense. It was so great. We went bawling. Right?
Right?
See? Told you.
I don't know what we're talking about.
Us crying to the last episode.
Dumped water all over myself. And I don't know where my other
Um,
sweater is, so I'm just. Welcome back, Axe. There's your intro. There it is. Who the
You're welcome.
fuck is messaging me? Oh.
Not me.
Okay, we ready? Because I sure as hell
I
am not. I
am.
was about to say I'm hopping off after this chapter because I think that are we still in the first chapter?
Yep.
That's fucking wild.
All right. Mm-mm. Eddie Henset. They're all of a sudden, or maybe he just hadn't seen her. He
You're too
only had
high
eyes
up.
for. No, because I didn't get the. Actually, Eddie, stop. You can't go back in. Bobby insisted, not even caring that he might condemning Buck to burning to death. He cares. You know he does. I can get him, he fought. He fought so hard. A huge crash nearly deafened everyone around them. It drowned out Eddie struggling, Hans' attempts to calm him, everything Bobby was trying to say. It drowned out the flames for just a few awful seconds. The roof was collapsing. The entire thing fall in on itself. That's not a right sentence, right?
It's not. The roof was collapsing. The entire thing fell on top of itself.
Fell.
In on an fall fell in
The
on
entire thing fell in on it.
itself. Yeah.
Yeah. Buck! The world was crashing around him. He begged, he shouted, he screamed, and Bobby held him tight the entire time.
I'm gonna be sick.
Did you
I
feel
hate
that
this.
knife in your heart?
Snapshots of
No.
grief.
The letters. No.
Word spread through the cops, through the other firefighters, through every paramedic on the scene. One of their own was missing. Evan Buckley, tall guy, sandy blonde hair. You've met him, right? Have you seen him? Eddie searched. He went to every single person he could find. He pulled a picture of Buck and Christopher up on his phone and zoomed in on Buck's grinning face. He showed it to everyone who would stand still long enough to look. Nobody had seen him. Even the survivors who had lived with him said they hadn't seen him at all this morning. Athena showed up. She promised that they had gotten his description out to all of the hospitals that they were taking in the victims. And then Ken found Buck's Jeep around the back in its usual spot. Buck had been here. He had definitely been here. There was no chance that he was back at the station, washing the floor and waiting for them to come back. He hadn't even gotten the chance to leave for work yet. Eddie felt himself crashing. His soul, his heart, his hope. This isn't real. None of this is really happening. But it was.
This is insane.
Ah! Maddie!
Good night. Um, good luck at school tomorrow. We're gonna cry. Don't you dare stop reading. Oh shit.
Time moved strangely. Maddie? Trim said, tears coming down his face that hadn't been there before. He held his phone out to them. Like that was all he needed to say. The tears were for Buck. They were for Maddie, too. For whatever that conversation had been. She's calling around. She'll tell me as soon as she gets a call about him. From a hospital. To say that Buck was hurt, but getting patched up. Not something to notify next of kin, not from the coroner's office. No. I'm taking us offline, Bobby said, voice strong and steady. Just the way the captain should be. Then he faltered. He glanced at Eddie, and then glanced away just as fast. Athena's hand went in his, and it seemed like the only thing keeping him from something. From something bad. They're not going to let anyone inside anytime soon. There's nothing. His voice broke, and a piece of Eddie broke with it. There's nothing else we can do here. Nobody moved. They all stood there, staring at each other, hand to Chim, Bobby to Athena, and Eddie.
The song
Athena
in
to
the
Eddie,
background.
and then back to Hen.
Please come home.
Eddie didn't know what to do. Moving felt impossible. The thought kept coming back over and over again. This wasn't real. This morning, Eddie had woken up, still so angry with Buck, still so hurt, and now he was standing here and he didn't care about the lawsuit. He never wanted to talk about it again. It was nothing. That hurt and that pain was nothing. This, now? God, what was he gonna say to Christopher? Get on the truck, Bobby said. Not a captain anymore. None of that strength or steadiness in his voice anymore. He sounded like a broken father. So now you decide to fucking care and show it.
With the broken father, I hear the "I love you" kid. My bad. My bad.
Eddie turned his back to the building, blackened smoke, still billowing. Burnt and ruined. The thought that Buck was in there, tore into Eddie like a wound that would never heal. Eddie, come on, Athena said gently. She took his arm and tried to move him. When he looked at her blankly, what am I supposed to do? Where is he? What do I say to Christopher? Why didn't I just get over it? Why did I push him away? She tilted her head and let out a shaky breath. She was trying to hold it together, and something in him was nearly ruining her ability to do that. Please, Eddie, get in the truck. Eddie got in the truck. I low-key like this.
Yeah.
But only because it's like the one that I read that I said I liked. No, the tsunami one is a good example. Buck fought to make everything like all right, to make sure that Eddie knew how he felt. And they're grieving over not being able to be honest with him about how they felt.
Yeah.
Karen came and got Hen because she couldn't drive with the way she kept crying. She offered to take Eddie home too, but he said he was okay to drive. Trim left without another word to any of them. To go to Maddie. Nobody stopped him. Athena hugged him, and hugged Hen, and hugged Eddie. She took Bobby home, but only after Eddie got in his car and drove away. There were tears. Everyone had been crying or tearing up or trying to keep it in. Eddie wasn't crying. He wasn't crying because this wasn't real. None of this was real. His hands were shaking on the wheel. This wasn't real. Mayo and Bobby? My bad. The world was too quiet, sort of ringing as Eddie pulls up to his house, or hours earlier than he was meant to. Carla's car was still out front, and that barely registered. The time barely registered. The hollow feeling in his chest barely registered, because this wasn't real. When Eddie opened the door, it was all chaotic. Christopher was calling to Carla about wrapping a present and needing help, and Carla was calling back about getting his shoes on as she rushed around gathering things. Jacob's birthday party. Eddie's mind dug up as he just stood there in the kitchen, staring at the remnants of a meal not yet entirely cleaned up. Carlos taking him to his friend's birthday party. We can finish wrapping it in the car. I'll tell you what to do. Carla's voice came rushing towards Eddie, and Christopher's crutches weren't far behind her. Then she turned the corner. There was an instant surprise on her face, and she opened her mouth to say something, but she didn't. Her smile dropped, and she stared at Eddie. They just looked at each other. "Dad!" Christopher said excitedly as he came around the corner. "You said not until tomorrow morning." It took a few seconds to make his mouth work. "Got out early." "Can you take me to the party?" Chris asked, looking up at Eddie. His face didn't drop like Carla's, but that was only because he didn't know. Eddie felt something in his chest throb. "Dad?" Chris asked, frowning at him. "Sorry, mijo. Tired." Eddie made himself say aloud. It was a delay, and he didn't sound sorry enough, but speaking just felt so far away. Everything felt far away. "Let's stick to the plan, Christopher. Let Dad get some sleep." Carla nudged Chris closer to the door, and his son made his way to the door with a pit stop at Eddie. Chris wrapped his arms around Eddie's waist. "Will you be up when I get home?" "Sure, buddy," Eddie promised hollowly. "I love you." That was enough for Christopher. "I love you too," he said, kind of absently. His head was already half at the party. Carla walked behind him and squeezed Eddie's shoulder, but she didn't say anything else. Didn't ask, didn't try to get him to explain why he'd gotten out early. And then the door was closing behind them, and Eddie was alone. He walked. He made it to the living room and then just stood there. Where was he even going? To bed? He was going to sleep, take a shower, and somehow wash the ash from Buck's home off of his skin? This isn't real. He'd know, wouldn't he? He'd feel it. If Buck was dead, he would feel it. Eddie didn't feel anything at all. Did that mean he was feeling it? Was this emptiness going to be the rest of his life now, existing for Christopher and never feeling whole again? Please, don't let this be real. The silence echoed. It was real. It was attacking him. Buck's eyes, hoping, disappointed. Buck screaming under the truck, wanting Eddie to see him. In his apartment, screaming while the fire... This can't be real. It can't. Weeks wasted. What if Eddie hadn't been so stubborn? Maybe Buck would have spent the night here on the couch. He could have made Christopher pancakes and been safe, and you fucked it all up. He would have been here if you would let him. Eddie was shaking. I'm not real right now. Nothing is real right now. Christopher would come home later after the party, and what was Eddie going to say? What could he ever begin to say? All night, Chris wanted to know when he could see Buck again. All day, Buck's eyes begged, and he asked hesitant, halting questions about Christopher, hoping that Eddie would let him back in. He had failed them both. Every day, every hour, over and over again. The floor was collapsed and crumbling in front of him. Could he have jumped? Could he have climbed somehow? Why hadn't he tried harder? Why hadn't he tried harder? What was tomorrow going to be? Today would end, and tomorrow would come, and Buck, what, just didn't exist anymore? That Eddie was supposed to exist when Buck didn't? This isn't real. All the thoughts in Eddie's head screamed. They were shouting at him. It was like a fire roaring, even though he was far from it. He was still in it. He was still standing there trying desperately to get to Buck's door. This isn't real. This isn't real. Please, don't let this be real. Eddie's knees hit the floor, and it didn't hurt. It didn't even register. Everything in him just curled up and died. He bent forward, forehead pressed to the floor, and he cried. Please, don't let this be real.
The thought that this is all happening and Buck's just vibing in Arizona, helping foster kids.
Building to help foster kids.
Yeah. He's just having the time of his life, thinking he's fixing things, and everyone thinks he's dead.
I don't want it.
Message from Athena. Eddie, all hospitals now have a list of anyone unaccounted for. And I've got them all. And I've got all of my contact information attached to Buck's name. I'll keep you updated. Please reach out so I know you got home okay. When Eddie couldn't cry anymore, he just laid on the floor. His phone kept buzzing in his pocket. Christopher would be home soon. Eddie couldn't move. It felt like he could feel the earth rotating underneath him, spinning and continuing to mock him. His door unlocked, quietly. No excited shouting. Eddie couldn't move. Footsteps. Then, oh, Eddie! It was Hen. She came and knelt beside him, and her hand went to his hair, smoothing it back from his swollen and sort of numb face. I got Carla, redirecting her to my house. Karen will watch Chris. Hen said to him so gently it almost made him cry again. As though Hen thought he deserved some being gentle, so she was. He didn't deserve it. He'd failed Buck so many times. Oh, you went too far.
Mm-mm.
Oh, so many times over it was stunning that it's because I'm used to you do the line up all the way. What a shit human being he was. Let's get up. You need to get in the shower. Hen nudged his shoulder, and when he didn't move, she physically started doing it for him. She was stronger than she looked, stronger than him. That's why she was talking and walking, and he was pathetic on the ground. Eddie stood up on his legs and trembled underneath him most. Legs that trembled underneath him mostly, because Hen made him. She pushed him towards the bathroom and got the shower started, letting the water run to warm up. Her quick hands half undid his clothes, so he barely had to do anything himself. I'm leaving the door open. I'll stay close. Shower and come out. I'll leave new clothes for you. Hen instructed like he was Danny. And then she walked out. The door opened a crack, and Eddie was just standing there. It wasn't until the steam from the shower started hitting his skin that he realized he was covered in soot and dried sweat. And salt. It felt disgusting. A film on his skin that he always hated. Mechanically, Eddie started undressing, dropping his dirty clothes onto the tiled floor. He stepped under the hot spray and stared at the wall. Buck was dead, and Eddie was taking a shower. Buck was dead, and Eddie was being ushered into bed. Hen pulled the covers up and gave him a glass of water and made him drink the whole thing. When it was done, she sat next to him and stroked his hair, and Eddie shut his eyes and let himself be nothing as he could possibly be, like Buck.
I hate everything, actually. This is fucking bullshit!
How many chapters did you say there were?
And we're at the
Yeah,
we're
I'm
like halfway through.
I'm burying myself probably in just tears.
I'm actually gonna just like sob until we like get a response, get Buck's POV again, because
Just cry. Buck building. Hey, look at me! Here's a stone.
Sees.
Message from Hen. Oh,
sorry.
yeah.
No, you
No,
go.
it's all right. Now you go.
No, you go.
You were going to say something. Now you go.
No, you go. I'm
You go.
invested, and I need to see who. What. Yep.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, clear. Message from Hen. He's asleep now. Message from Athena. How is he? I agree. What he said.
Huh?
I agree with them.
The child?
Yeah,
He was talking about cupcakes.
exactly.
I love you. Go and get.
Queen. Message from Hen. He wouldn't speak to me. Just kind of moved when I made him move. He was on the ground, just laying there. He had definitely been crying. Tears all through the ash. Message from Karen. Chris and Danny are having fun. I told Carla what happened. Away from them, so I don't think Chris realizes anything is up yet. Message from Athena. Rest to hold off today and see if Eddie can tell him himself when he wakes up. I feel bad for Chris because he doesn't know.
I feel horrible because the letter he fucking wrote didn't get to them.
Where did he put them?
In the mailbox
In the
in the
apartment?
apartment building.
Why not just send them out?
That is sending them out. The mail person comes and empties it and then sends them out that way.
What? Really?
Mm-hmm.
Oh damn. We have it different. We actually go you have to go to a store to send the mail out.
I'm almost finished my chips.
Alright, take your time. I need a drink because I'm gonna dry up. Okay, we're good. Some part of Athena knew she was too numb to be heartbroken yet. She's seen too much. Miracles and lucky breaks and impossible wins. Until someone told her that Buck was dead, her heart couldn't wrap itself around that idea. She should have been grieving right now, but she wasn't yet. Instead, she was terrified that someone was going to call or come to the house and say the words to her. A huge part of that fear was of losing Buck. After a little bit of a rough start, she had seen a glimmer of something in him that made her want to watch closer. To really see him beyond the cocky recklessness and the inability to listen or obey. Once she had really seen him, that was it. Her heart latched onto him, his big smiles and eager to please nature and excited sharing. His protective streak a mile wide, and the way he looked at people he loved. The way he looked at her. like she might be what he'd been looking for his whole life. It was a lot of pressure at first. The idea that he had maybe started seeing her like a mother. Then, one night, it stopped feeling that way, sort of all at once. It seemed barbecue for the 118 at their house, Bobby grilling and everyone laughing. Athena had been cleaning up in the kitchen, and without being asked, Buck just jumped in. He chatted excitedly at her, telling her some facts about one of the cases she'd been talking about earlier, and it got so immediately clear that he wasn't so much helping out of obligation or the joy of cleaning, but just that he had wanted to talk to her. He had wanted to spend someone on time with
One-on-one time
he
with her.
had wanted to spend some that sentence is so weird.
One-on-one time.
Someone on one oh wait. He wanted to spend some one-on-one time with her. I read it weird. That's me. My bad. The realization and how excited he was by her interest in what he was saying reminded her of May and Harry after school when they were little. When she listened to their lies and paid attention to the details and remembered what pieces of the story connected to the day before. It made sense why children felt that way. That they had someone interested in them. That Athena listened to them not as dumb babies, but as big, important people. Having a sounding board that took them seriously. It was a huge part of growing up. It didn't make sense why an adult man would feel that way. He should be used to it. But Buck wasn't, because nobody had really paid much attention to him or cared about his world before them. Maddie had, but she had left to have a vital connection. The only person who really cared about him, cut off so young, had definitely shaped Buck. All of those realizations had hit Athena right there in her kitchen, while Buck had segged into telling her how many deaths happened due to an adverse reaction to Viagra per year. Because it's a case he'd springboard off of had been oh my god, my brain cannot even had scorned wives shooting her cheating husband. Buck looked at her like a mother because he still needed one. Because he never really had one. Because somehow he decided he loved her even more, even before she had really acknowledged that she liked him. He loved so freely, so fast. And she loved him too. That realization had come right after all the others. When she walked up to him mid-sentence and stroked his curls back from his forehead, it felt like Buck had seen it in her eyes. But Athena hadn't said it. She hadn't felt like it was her place. Bobby's feelings towards Buck were fairly obvious, but she knew there were complicated emotions there. The disconnect of being Buck's captain's first, not wanting to overstep, having lost his children, and being afraid of truly stepping into that place in someone else's life. That was a journey that needed time. Athena's was easier. She went from a mother who loved her son to a mother who loved her sons. Can you? Can you? I can wait if you need me to.
No, it's just reading, listening.
Then, uh, then the embolism had happened, and nearly seeing another son dead had sent Bobby spiraling into the bad decisions. His fear of losing Buck made him irrational. Buck's response had been typical Buck. All in, little thought and desperate need. Athena texted Buck instead of holding him close to her like she wanted. Over and over, she talked to Bobby about clearing the air. They were both so stubborn. Buck kept insisting that he was okay, that it was getting better, and she had known some of it was a lie. He hadn't wanted to put her in the middle, probably. Didn't want to bother her, and even though she insisted he was never a bother, it was. I got distracted. It was just kind of how Buck always seemed to feel, that he was annoying or too much, that would take time to heal. She knew that. She had thought they would have that time. That soon Bobby would give up shutting Buck out and they would both apologize to each other and things would be tentative and awkward before they fell back into the relationship they had before. Quietly, never saying a word to anyone. Athena had researched adult adoption and found out how easy it was. It wouldn't be something she would suggest that had to be them, but she had been ready to sign papers someday. That's so sad. And now what? Someday was never going to come. Athena was so afraid that someone would tell her that Buck was gone, and she was equally afraid of what that would do to Bobby. His eyes had been wild at the scene. She barely recognized him. Even now, hours later, he wouldn't speak. Not to her, not to May, not to Harry, not the fire chief who called to check up on him. Athena had taken the call for him, and it was obviously meant to be a sympathy call. Her saying they had gotten Buck's description to every hospital in the area had been met with a surprise, then outright pity. Gentle pity, but pity all the same. Athena was checking her phone constantly. Updates came from Jim about Maddie was dealing with this badly, and after radio silence from Eddie, Hen had gone over and found him nearly comatose on the floor. May knew, but they hadn't told Harry because then he might say something to Christopher. They were waiting. That needed to come from Eddie if at all possible. Or maybe someone would call them and say they had Buck. That he had been knocked unconscious or something. Nobody called. Not a hospital, not a coroner's office, not one of the officers assigned to the case. Until they did, his body might still be alive.
Her boy.
Maybe it made, her boy. I'm like making up letters in my head. Her boy might still be alive. Maybe it made her a fool, but Athena clung to that. You're not okay. I can see it.
Dakota walked
I can
in.
see it in your
Dakota
eyes.
walked in and said, I hate phone calls. And then 2 seconds later, he said, how's it going?
As you sighed, and you looked at your monitor. As you sighed.
We're only in chapter 3? 2? 3.
Long chapters?
Long chapters.
Mm-hmm.
Chapter 2! We're in chapter 2 still? There's no fucking way!
Yep.
I'm not okay! What is this? Why am I believing that he's actually dead? He's not! We know this!
You said Arizona.
I'm grieving with them!
Who?
But
I feel so bad for
Oh.
Athena.
Rest in peace, Buck.
He's fine.
we know he's fine. It was said in the first chapter that he's fine and he'll be okay because he wasn't in his apartment when that fire happened.
No, we knew he left. Nobody else
He was so
does, though.
excited. He introduced himself as Evan and everything.
And here he is, gone.
And here I am sobbing because Eddie was on his floor for who knows how fucking long, sobbing.
And Athena wanted to adopt him.
Boo-hoo womp womp to you. You're struggling to get water out of a bottle. Sorry. I didn't mean to laugh.
Yes, you did. Laughing at my pain and agony.
You're the one who said boo-hoo womp womp when I told you that I'm believing that Buck is actually fucking dead.
One minute.
I'm supposed to make dinner tonight, gang. How am I supposed to cook in these conditions?
You have to. I have school.
How are you supposed to go to
In,
school
like-
in these conditions?
I have to go to bed. Also, like
We could
I
stop
need
after this
sleep.
chapter.
Isn't it like 2
I
a.m.
think.
today?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think that's the smartest idea because I need sleep because my school day is gonna be rough.
I'm not okay. We need to finish this as soon as possible.
Finish chapter 2 at least.
We can make
We're
it
almost
till
done chapter 2.
2:30.
Chapter 2?
I'm not okay. It's okay. It's fine. This is fine.
It's alright.
I feel so awkward with you both just standing there. I feel like I'm like being enclosed in.
We'll sit down then.
That doesn't help the fact that I feel like I'm being like trapped. Okay.
He's alive. He's fine.
He's alive. I feel like I'm in as much
I'm
denial as fucking Eddie.
And Athena, I feel.
Bro said I'm
Athena.
not real, and I felt that.
Yeah. I think it's Athena wanted to adopt him, but didn't want to bring it up to Bobby.
Can't reach my mouse. Coda's like just oh, my arm was in the way. It's fine. You could see the top of Coda's head. Bobby couldn't remember what the lesson had meant to be. He left. Make Buck learn? Make him understand? What? The lesson wasn't Buck's. Bobby understood that now. Bobby talked to me. The lesson was his own, and he failed. This, Athena, the 118, Hen, Chimney, and Eddie, and May, and Harry, Michael, and Buck. This had been his second chance. His chance to right his wrongs, to prove himself a better man, to earn forgiveness and love. For the first time in so long, Bobby had felt good again. Not like happy, although they made him happy too, as good as in a righteous man. A man worthy of his second chance, a man who could love and guide and help. Through Athena, he became a better husband, and in turn, a better man. Bobby. Through the 118, he proved he could lead again, and that he wouldn't let his people down. Through his sobriety, he proved that he was stronger than he had allowed himself to be before. And through Buck, he had thought he'd proven that he could be a father again. All those weeks kept flashing in his head, Buck in his arms, crying through the recovery from his crush injury. Because he was in pain and he was afraid. Buck taking his first shaky steps in physical therapy after the bombing with Bobby, right there, cheering him on, just like he cheered on Brooke and Robbie, taking their own first steps. Buck sleepily greeting Bobby at his loft when he let himself in with breakfast so they could eat before an appointment. A loft that was now ash. A boy that was now ash. A son that was now ash. The lesson had been for him, and he had failed it. Buck had done something dramatic and understandable in reaction to Bobby's dramatic and understandable fears. Instead of being the bigger person, the leader, the captain, the father, Bobby had nursed his wounds and pushed the kid away. Again, he'd failed. Again, he wasn't the man he'd hoped he would be. Bobby, baby, please, look at me. A warm hand gently touched his cheek and turned his head. His wife was sitting beside him, and though she wasn't crying, it was clear she was hurting. Buck wouldn't want you to lose yourself, Athena whispered. She was right. Buck wouldn't want that at all. That wasn't the point, though. The point was that Bobby had to learn the lesson. It was him. He had failed. He would continue to fail. He understood now. Robert Nash was not a good man.
You know what I just realized?
What? What did you just realize, Ness?
They're gonna think he's dead for at least 3 months. Because he's not gonna come back.
He's
He
not
has
going to
3
turn his
months.
phone on for 3 months. He's not going to come back for 3 months. That's probably why there's 10 fucking chapters. It's her comfort with a happy ending, chat.
I don't see a happy ending, but
I don't see it. It's nowhere in sight. I'm making the fucking playlist.
Oh.
I need a moment.
Wait. You know what I said when you went and left for a bit? I said, if it will get to sad, I can end the stream right now. I have the option. So I'd be like, okay, I'm crying. Bye. We're done for today. We cannot do this anymore. Just bawling. You called it I love you, kid. Shit.
And the fucking playlist description is Ness and Axe's therapy session. Where the fuck are you DMs? There it is. My playlist 38 is what it says the name is, but it is not the name. Wait, I need a picture of fucking Buck and Bobby.
I'm here.
Hey, you popped up with AO3! I need the picture of Buck sobbing in Bobby's arms during the mudslide episode.
Yeah.
"991" apparently is what I'm searching. Because I typed it wrong. Oh, I'm not okay.
No, no, no.
Oh, hey, I found it.
I'm not okay. I'm in denial.
From the fic or Bobby?
Both.
I love that it cuts and shows the rest of Buck. I'm adding all of my songs from the playlist I'm listening to now. And these ones. I didn't mean to try and pin it. I meant to put it here. I just like spammed it. And I don't think you could listen to these ones because you don't have them downloaded. So you best add your therapy session playlist. Wait, can I? I can. Where is it?
Therapy.
Where's okay. I'm not okay. This playlist is gonna be so long because of us, by the way.
It's fine. It's fine.
I think I want to crop that photo a little better. And you have the link to the playlist? Yes. Yippee! I'm gonna end everything. Can we make a bingo for season 9? Or actually, the next 2 episodes of season 8 and then season 9.
Yeah.
Ew, I seen Timu. I meant to
That was
say
such an
Tommy,
aggressive
but
ew.
I meant to say Tommy, but I said Timu. Oopsies.
Ow, my knee.
What if I made it this? Like,
I mean,
what if I made that the Huh?
The picture is foul.
I'm debating on making it something else.
Something worse?
Maybe.
you should make that because
It's fitting.
that's how we look like at the end of this fic.
Where'd it go? Should have been right there. Oh, it's right there. There we go.
Oh, that fits.
I hate everything.
And then the quote. He's looking at it.
Bobby said that exact thing minutes before.
Robert Nash was not a good man will always be a sentence that breaks me. I want to read chapter 3, but I know that I can't.
I have to go to bed. I wish I was free, but I'm not.
Why'd you look so scared?
Your hand just appeared. I was about to grab the water. She's asleep now. Chimney's voice was shaky. You looked so confused. Chimney's voice was shaky and worn out, even through the phone. His pain was just as fierce as hers, but his was compounded by Maddie's agony, and all those hours he had held her through the storm of it. Eddie was asleep now too, but she'd already texted Chim earlier to tell him that. Hen stayed even though Eddie had been sleeping for hours because she knew when he woke up it was going to be bad. She wasn't losing both of them. I actually hate you. I actually hate you.
Who wrote this? Take him out. Take him out. This is not okay. How dare you?
She wasn't losing both of them. Don't you dare fucking play that song right now. Here's your fucking headphones, by the way. Aubrey brought them to me. Hen wasn't sure she was processing anything correctly right now. She had sobbed in Karen's arms. She knew her heart was grieving, but she also was still just in shock. Hen? Chimney called softly. How did this happen? Hen asked him, even though she knew he didn't have an answer. Nobody would anytime soon. Chim let out a breath that made Hen's heart ache even worse. I don't know. What are we going to do? I don't know.
They're all going to blame themselves for feeling like this because of how they did to him.
Yeah, they should have fucking treated him better. I'm
Take
allowed
your
to be
caution
mad
out.
and upset at the same time. I'm allowed to be mad and depressed. Also, that was a foul song to play, by the way. The one that I played. The lights are on. Another foul song, and I'm playing it. I regret my decisions already. Maddie had only fallen asleep because Howie had promised to stay awake and watch her phone. She was awake again now, and the whole world was a nightmare. They had been through so much together. The hollow home haunted the memory of Daniel, a childhood that Maddie had only been able to do so much to make right. Her leaving him, Doug, their postcards, and Buck's wandering while he searched for what he eventually found. Finding each other again, making their lives here, Doug again. Then the truck bombing, how hard Buck had worked to get back what he loved. The embolism, the lawsuit. It couldn't just be over like this. Buck couldn't be over like this. I didn't want to see Maddie's point of view. Is that a bad thing to say? Because I knew it would make me cry.
Oh, it's alright. It's alright.
Speaketh.
Ba 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 ba.
She had raised him. Her name had been his first word, a cheerfully called Mata. Sorry. After school one day, his first steps had been to her. He had learned to read with her, fingers slowly dragging across the words. She had taught him how to swim slowly and carefully after their father had tried to throw him in the pool so he could figure it out himself. Even though he hadn't done that to Maddie when she had needed to start learning. There hadn't been anything she could do about how school was for him and how hard he found it sometimes, but she had always listened when he went out when he went on his own research dives and came to her excitedly with new facts, trying to encourage him to loving learning, even if it wasn't the usual way. It was supposed to be them, together at each other's sides until they were old and gray. Maddie couldn't comprehend what was happening. So she laid there, and her heart just kept breaking. We're back to Eddie's point of view. Everything is. Did you hear that? Did you hear this shit? Are you hearing this, Ness?
Yeah. I am, and I'm upset. I wish I didn't. I didn't want to know that. I would have been fine. Now I'm gonna think about that tonight while trying to sleep.
I'm done with this shit. I'm done with this shit. Ah! Too big. Ah! I moved the wrong one. What did I move?
Oh, I do that too a lot. I love doing that.
I'm not okay, actually.
I don't know what to think.
When you get a taste, can you tell me my flavor? It's a happy ending, guys.
What
That
do
is
you
the
think of
second
the
time.
happy ending?
That is the second time I dumped water on
Yeah.
myself. This is such a
Lies.
happy ending, chat. To this part.
Uh,
I actually just hate it.
I love but hate it at the same time, you know?
Yeah.
Like, fuck you for reading it, but thank you for reading it. For writing it. That's how I'm feeling. I'm also brain dead. That's also. Zoom.
They have a cute ass fucking. Sorry, I'm looking at May's stream because I wanted to read. They have a cute ass layout. I really like that. What?
Oh my god.
Reading! I'm gonna read. I'm gonna read into May. It breaks. I hate it too. Okay, when do you think we'll read next?
Um.
Because we're continuing It Takes Two on Saturday.
Probably finish it. Because we're almost done.
Yeah, we're pretty close. We could figure that out.
We'll get there. We'll get there. I just need to heal.
We're only on chapter 3!
I don't care. Still healing. I can't.
I love your
Fucking
shirt, by the
Eddie
way. I mean, your
sobbing.
sweater.
Thank you.
Eddie on the floor sobbing, I won't get that image out of my head.
Yeah,
Sorry to say.
it's
Not happening.
awful. Nope. Mm-mm.
Okay, the raid's gonna go through. I'm just gonna put my ending soon scoot up. I'm not. Oh, I am unmuted. That was a shock. I'm never unmuted on my ending soon screen. I was kind of shocked. Wow.